and there's Hannah. Lovely. Safety in numbers. Hello, Hannah. Sorry, I've put you all on mute already, so I can't hear you. Are you all right? Give me a thumbs up. Good, no new injuries. So rest if you need to at any point during class. Give me a wave, unmute yourselves if you need anything. I'm a little bit tired, so I might ramble even more than normal, so I mightily apologise. We'll start sitting. So find your sit bones, knees bent up, feet flat on the floor. We're going to be here for a while, so you want to be fairly comfortable. And as it's dark, cold, wet and miserable, and towards the end of the week, just close your eyes and we'll start by finding some breath and feeling and connecting with our bodies. So breathe in through the nose and breathe out through slightly pursed lips. Try and slow the breath down as much as possible, and as you breathe in, notice where your breath is going. Follow it as it runs through your body to the back and sides of your ribs. And as you breathe out, try and exhale all the last bit of air so you feel that abdominal connection as that last puff leaves your body. That's it, breathing in and breathing out. Just a couple more. And then gradually open your eyes. Come back to this sitting position. I know you grabbed a nice comfy cushion there, Barbara, sorry. It's now going to get uncomfortable. So just hands on your shins, and we'll start by breathing out, tummy button to spine, just curling forward, breathing in to sit tall, and then breathing out, curling forward again. And breathing in to sit tall. Keep going, using your breath, keeping your feet flat on the floor, finding a little bit more flexion through the spine each time. Breathing out to flex and breathing in to restack. One more like this, breathing out and then breathing in. Sitting tall on your next out breath, lift the heart so you're just extending your back a little bit. Breathing in to recenter, breathing out to flex forward, and you can send your tailbone away a little way this time to get more curve in the lower back. Breathing in to sit nice and tall. Breathe out, think lifting the heart. Breathing in to recenter. So getting flexing forward, sitting up, then lifting the heart to extend back and center. And one more like this, breathing out, curling forward, sitting tall, lifting the heart to extend the back and sitting upright. So let's put all that together with some arms. So breathing out, curl back a little way, curl forward with the back, sit nice and tall, then lift the arms to the ears as you lift the heart, circle around to sit nice and tall. So a little bit like spine stretch forward. So you breathe out and curl forward, lifting the arms, lifting the heart to extend the back, and arm circle around. Couple more. So curling forward. Lifting up, out breath to extend the heart to the ceiling. Circle the arms around. One more nice and gentle one, curling forward. Sitting tall. Lifting the heart. Circling the arms around. Now we'll get some heat generated because I want you to hinge with a flat back, do a half roll back. So send the tailbone away. Open the arms, that point that you can just hold. Circle the arms around to help pull you back up. Extending up, circling around again. So sweep the arms out to the side. Continue the circle, keep drawing down with the abdominals, curling forward. Lifting the heart. Circling around to the start. So sweep, send the tailbone away, draw the abs down through your body, circling the arms, curling forward, sitting tall, extending the back, circling around, one more like this, hinge, then send your tailbone away. A lovely arm circle and helps you come forward. And sitting tall and circle the arms around. Then have the arms as if you're holding an imaginary beach ball. We'll do some rotation. So I'd like you to hinge, then rotate to one way. And like we did last time with the pelvic tilts, just roll down on that side of the spine, nice and slowly, using your abs to get you down there. Back to center, over to the other side, nod the head, suck in through the abs, curl up on that side of the spine, centering at the top, and then rotate, reverse the direction. So hinge, send your tailbone away, curl down on that side of the spine. If you need to hold on to your leg just for some support to make sure you're using your abs, please do so. And it's not a full roll back, it's that point, oh, that you've got to control and hold, she says, falling over. And do a couple more for me, reverse the direction. Want to really watch the magic happen. That's it, fantastic. Good, that's hard work, brilliant. Rotating around, coming up the other way. That's it, well done, Sandra. And one more, reverse the direction. Back down the side of the spine, you've just come up. Oh, good, center. Over to the other side, nod the chin, draw the abs in, curl it up. Fantastic. Final set with the leg lift. So hinge, send the tailbone away. This time, try and get your lower back on the floor to lift one leg, place it down, lift the other leg, place it down. Abs in, curling forward, sitting up. And ready to go again, hinge, send the tailbone away, trying to get the lower back to the floor. Sometimes a little bit easier to hold it, but really nail your tummy down through the abdominals, curling up, sitting tall. Oh, good work, couple more. Wake you up on a nasty Thursday evening, that's it, lovely. Good. Good, Hannah. Lovely, Barbara. Good, Sandra. Suck in. Nice abs. As the full one, hinge. Send the tailbone away. If you need to hold the back of your thighs, come back nice and slowly and controlled. Stay on the ground. Bend your knees up. If you want to hug your knees in for a little breather, if it's really tight, please do. Then hands behind your head. Once your feet are back down, we'll do our chest lift. So think about abs in and squeezing in to slide your ribs forward, keeping your tailbone on the mat, breathing in to place yourself back down. So think also about pressing your head into your hands so you're not pulling on your neck, and breathing in to return. So nice and slowly breathing out, abs drawing through the body, Imagine they're like a little whirlpool, black hole sucking everything in and up. Breathing in to return. Keeping the elbows nice and wide. That's it, Barbara. Try not to pull on the back of your neck. Our focus is trying to be deep in the abs to avoid actually lifting from the chest and the neck, which is where a lot of the discomfort comes from. That's it. Good. Lovely. Slow and controlled. Breathing out to come up. Breathing in to lie down. One last one and stay up there. Breathing out, curl forward. Then take your hands away from behind your head. Hold onto your thighs. Curl your upper body up a tiny wee bit more. Stay there, suck those abs down, hands back behind the back of your head, and lift one knee up to tabletop, place it down, and then change legs. So we're doing marching all the time, trying to keep curled forward, thinking those abdominals, the tummy button is coming through your body onto the mat below to keep you centered, keep your back safe, pressing your head into your hands. Keep marching. Keep breathing. Keep curling forward. Keep those abs drawing in, doing their work. That's fantastic. That's it. 2 more on each leg. Brilliant. Curling up, curling up. Final lot. Wonderful. Then gradually allow your body to lie down and hug your knees in for a little rest. That was looking lovely. I'm sure it didn't feel lovely. I know how it feels. So from there, we can just take our arms by our sides, take our legs into tabletop, assuming you're still happy to work those abs, feet slightly lower than the knees, and we'll do some hip rolls. So breathing in, take the knees over to one side, keeping the back on the mat, keeping the knees together and in line. Breathe out, draw them back to the center, using your abdominals, then over to the other side. So breathing out, really suck in the abs to bring everything back. Breathing in to take it over to one side. And breathing out to recenter. Just a couple more basic ones. Of course, if you want to put your feet on the floor tonight, I will very much allow that. And if you're finding it nice and easy, just take your knees slightly further away from your body, so you've got to get those abs working extra hard. And you can do, as you breathe in, take the knees over to one side, unpeel the top leg, so stretch the toe to the ceiling, keeping the knees in line. Breathing out, bring it back to center, then bend back to tabletop. Whichever version you want to do, keep those knees glued together. Brilliant. Remember to relax the shoulders and the upper body as much as possible. One more to each side. And then before having a rest, keep those legs in tabletop. Let's do what we did last week. Have arms up though this time, holding an imaginary beach ball. And we will just take the knee out to the side and squeeze the leg back. So getting those obliques working again. A little bit of a shake of control, or trying to control, will dip in, I'm sure. Abs down. 4 on each side will be plenty. So you really got to keep both bum cheeks glued down. Nice and slow. Thinking about those abdominals, nailing your pelvis to the mat, keeping your back safe, Squeeze from the inner side, bring the leg back as well as the abs. That's lovely and controlled, everyone. Oh, I'm going to need new challenges. When you've had enough, so I'm not counting, hug your knees in again for another little breather. Fab. And then we'll go back, feet flat on the floor, hands behind your head again. And we're going to come up into the chest lift, keep the tailbone down, curl a little bit higher if you can, then opposite knee and elbow, staying up there. So marching feet with rotation. If you're feeling that, oh, this is far too easy tonight, feel free to do the crisscross, which is extending one leg and rotating to the bent knee, whichever version you wish to do. Integrity of movement, though, so making sure that curl up is coming from your abdominals, head pressing into your hands, keeping your chin nodded, keeping your chest as high as possible. That's it. Good. Brilliant. And do 2 more and then hug your knees in. Remember to breathe as well. It's one thing I find very disconcerting not being in the same room as you. I can't tell if you've stopped breathing because you're working too hard. That's it. So relax, hug those knees in. Rock from side to side if you need to, because then we're going to lie down, arms overhead, legs glued together. We will do our roll up. So arms to the ceiling, nod the chin, tummy button, spine, use those abs, flex the feet, curling up, curling over. And then let's take the arms to the ears and extend a little way, circle around, ready to roll back down. So softly point the legs, think abs to control the spine to the mat, back to the ceiling, flexing the feet, curling up, curling forward, bringing the arms up to the ears, circling round, ready to go back again. And if you're having problems coming up at all, you can, of course, hold onto your legs or roll over onto your side. Oh, smooth, Sandra, brilliant. That's it, Hannah, lovely. Good, Barbara. That's it, Sandra. Draw the tummy button through the body to help keep it nice and smooth going back. That's it. Good. Lovely, Hannah. Good extension. Well done. Almost a teaser there, Sandra. Don't worry about it because you're getting that control on the roll down and the coming up will follow soon. Having the faith to pull in through the abs. Just do 1 more. Lovely. Finish your last one, rolling down and lying on the mat again. So sorry, Barbara, if you have to do an extra one. And then hug your knees in. And assuming you're all right on the wooden floor, we're going to do rolling like a ball. So nodding the head, find a little bit of momentum to help bring you up. Oh, squeaky platform. If you're not happy rolling on your flooring, just come to that balance point and practice sliding your tailbone away from you, keeping ball shaped and just balancing. And make sure you don't smack your head as you go back. That's it, brilliant. Sandra, have your hands just by your ankles if you can, because you're doing brilliant rolling. Same thing, so you keep your feet where they are. Almost. One more. Oh, fantastic. Well done. Right, Barbara, this next one will not be for you with your wrist. So what I would like you to do, we're going to do, you can do back plank on your forearms, as long as your shoulder's all right. Everyone else, we're going to do a little tricep dip. So what I would like is hands behind you, probably about 2 hand widths. Think about lifting your heart, squeeze your bum and come up into that little chest back plank. Well done. Then walk your feet in, so you're in a nice little table. Then drop your bottom and stay there, chest lifted, and then imagine your shoulder blades are going to kiss and you're going to bend your elbows. So do your tricep dips. Extra challenge. Oh. If this is not good for anybody else on their shoulders or their hands, don't do it, is what I'm saying. And 2. And final one. Oh, marvelous. Well done. Just give the arm a little bit of a stretch. And then the other side. And then we can sort of relax. We're going to roll over onto our fronts. So grab a cushion if you have one for your forehead. We will start with the arrow, so it's nice and relaxed, but find a good position. So you want your tailbone reaching away from you, pubic bone earthed into the mat. Just allow the shoulders to roll forward. And then on your next in-breath, they lift away from the mat. They slide down your back to hover your arms. Rotate the arms, thumbs to ceiling as you breathe in. And then breathing out, place yourself down. So breathe in to lift the shoulders, breathe out, reach and hover. That reach lifts the heart. Breath in, thumbs to the ceiling. And breathing out, place yourself down. And keep going. So breathing in to lift the shoulders, breathe out, reach those fingers from the toes, hovering. That lovely low long line. That's it. And then on your next out breath, take yourself back to the mat. Allow the shoulders to fall forward in between as you breathe in, lift them away from the mat, reach and hover the arms, fingers for toes, thumbs to the ceiling as you're breathing in. And then breathe out, place yourself down. And again, breathing in, lift the shoulders, breathe out, reach and hover the arms, thumbs to the ceiling as you breathe in, and breathe out, place yourself down. One more of these, breathe in, lift the shoulders, breathe out, reach and fingers for your toes and hover, thumbs to the ceiling as you breathe in, and breathe out, place yourself down. Going to stay here. So arms by your side, we'll focus on the legs. So going to breathe and really stretch one leg away from you, then hover it off the mat. and lower it down for 5. So you start to feel the bum squeezing, the hamstring getting engaged, really stretching that long leg away, lifting and lowering it ever so slightly. And then to the other side. So focus first on really stretching the leg away from you to get some length. Squeeze the bum a little bit to help lift it up and lower it, keeping it as straight as you possibly can. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. 2 more, out to lift. In to lower. Final 1, out to lift. And in to lower. Little breath, same thing. This time lift the shoulders as you breathe in, hover the upper body. Lift one leg exactly how we were, place it down and then change sides. So starting off as if we're snorkeling, really nice and slowly, focusing on that area just below the bottom where the leg meets. So you're hovering your upper body, you're stretching your legs away. So it's just like our swimming, but slow. And having said that, you can add an arm in. So as one leg lifts, you can tap the other arm down. And I've got the backs of my hands facing the mat. And then gradually speed it up if you want. Still nice and slow and controlled. Making sure your chins are nodded and the crown of your head's reaching away. Lovely and calming. Couple more. And then swing your arms around to the front so they're in a nice diagonal. We'll do proper swimming. So hover the upper body, hover the legs, and then tap down opposite arm and legs, focusing again on that area just beneath your bottom, that lovely crease. Make it as fast or as slow as you can control tonight without rocking the body. If you want to just place yourself down and lift and lower opposite legs instead of tapping down and lifting, feel free. That's it. Good. Really nice head position, Sandra. That's it, Hannah, you're doing great. Hoping it's not too uncomfortable. Couple more. And then relax. Sit back into a child pose. So we're going to come back onto our fronts to work hamstrings a little bit more. Take your knees nice and wide. Send your bottom way back to your heels. Stretch out. Couple of breaths. And then coming back onto our fronts. Again, just if you want the cushion, feel free, or just forehead on your hands. Separate your legs ever so slightly, sliding your shoulders away from your ears. And tonight we're going to, again, reach the right leg away, then hover it ever so slightly off the mat. And then we're just going to bend the knee, keeping that knee hovered, and extend away. So bend and extend. So slow, controlled, keeping the leg hovered. And then when you're feeling, I say comfortable advisedly, have a little think about where your heel is in space. Should be aiming for the midline of your bottom. That's good. Lovely, one more. And then from there, bend it in, keep it hovered, flex your foot, and we'll pulse up to the ceiling with the heel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee down, let the leg relax, and then think about the other side. So really stretch the left leg or the other leg away from you. Then start nice hamstring curls again, thinking about where your foot is in space, mentally aiming it for the midline of your bottom, keeping the knee hovered as you gradually bend and extend that leg. And the more you do, the more you'll start to feel those hamstrings and glutes doing their thing. I like to breathe out as I bend. Breathe in to let the air through the leg as you extend away. That's looking very nice. Good. Lovely. Something so simple looks very beautiful, very controlled. One more of these and then keep that knee bent in. Flex the foot. Think about sending the sole of the foot to the ceiling and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous. Stretch that leg away. And again, if you want to release any tension that's crept into the lower back, if it has, just sit back into that child pose or bend your knees up, whatever is comfy. Lovely. Well, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. And again, Barbara, I will give you the choice. You can either do some forearm planking or even some spine twist, because we are going to do little knee hovers and then, like we did last week, some of that Cossack twisty thing. So we have some fun. Find a nice quadruped position, tuck your toes under, find a flat back, and then as you breathe out, sucking in your abdominals, just hovering your knees off the mat and letting them sit down again. So you're trying not to lift your bum or anything, you're just hovering a couple of centimeters off the mat and coming back down again. That's good. And breathing out to lift and hover. And breathing in. There we go. One more. Breathing out to lift and hover. And down. So Sandra, are your wrist dodgy, isn't it? Okay. So stay doing that planking. Barbara, if you want to have the sorry, no, not Barbara, Hannah. Sorry. Stay planking, Barbara. Have a breath. Hannah, if you want the extra challenge. So from the little knee hover, you can come into a down dog. See what we deal with here. And from there, it's actually easier than what we did last week, I think. Just turn into a sort of side plank, one hand to your shoulder, the underneath leg comes out underneath you. And then change sides. Have a little play. Sorry to put all the focus on you. There you go, hinge. That's it. No, other arm. Yes, good. Yeah. Oh, but that's it. It's getting that first one right. Just try one more. Yes, good, Hannah. Lovely. So opposite arm and leg gets us lovely flexibility. So you've got rotation and everything happening. Then relax. And either way, just give our little wrists a little love. And then definitely grab some nice big cushions or a big head block. We will work on our side. A much more comfortable position for everybody. So start as if we're sitting on a chair, feet flat on the floor, knees bent up 90 degrees, arms out in front. So you want a cushion behind you so you've got something to give your neck some support. And we will do a little chest release. So make sure your underneath shoulder is drawn down. Breathing in to lift the arm to the ceiling. Breathing out, rotate the upper body, keeping the knees together as much as you can. And just allow yourself a couple of breaths, that open point, and breathing out, drawing in through the abdominal, through the obliques to bring the arm back. That's it. I'll have two more of these. So breathing in, lift the arm. Breathe out, rotate from the ribs. Follow the arm with your head. That's it. Enjoy that open position. And then bring yourself back on your next out breath, using your abdominals. Sandra, can you bend your knees up a bit more towards you? That's it. And feet further towards the edge of the mat. So use the edge of the mat as a guide. Yeah, that's it. And really make sure there's no pressure on the back. Lovely. And then finish this one with your arms straight out in front of you. Then bend the elbows so your hands are in front of your face. Slide your feet back so you're coming into a shell position. And from here, we will open the knee and open the elbow, keeping the hands together and keeping the feet together. So we're only opening our knee as far as the elbow goes, in an attempt to make sure we don't rock back with the body. We're just literally opening at the hip. Breathing out to open, keeping the shoulders relaxed, breathing in to close. That's it. Couple more. Really make sure we don't rock back as we do this. And then keeping in that position, just lift your top arm to shoulder height, lift the leg to hip height. And then we do the same thing. We open just as far as we can without rocking the body back in space. A bit of coordination. Still breathing out to open, breathing in to close, metaphorically, because we're hovering. Oh, quite hard work on the old hip. That's it. Good. Keep smiling. We all look slightly ridiculous. And final one. Oh. And then lengthen the legs away, lengthen the underneath arm away. If you want that block back between your head and your hand or your arm, please do. Make sure you're angling your legs slightly in front of you, ready for our double leg lift. So legs squeeze together, breathing out, lift and hover, looking towards the mat to make sure there's no tension in the neck. Breathing in to place yourself down. If you need a hand in front for balance tonight, that's fine. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the underneath waist drawing up from the mat, keeping everything safe, keeping the legs straight as you can. You don't have to lift the upper body too high. Thinking again, a nice long arrow. And it's the underneath leg doing that heavy lifting. That's it. That's all looking very stable. Mightily impressed. Lovely. Good. Remember to breathe out to lift. Breathe in, think extra length as you come back down to the mat. And one more. And we will still continue to double leg lift. So we're going to lift the legs. Then you're going to lift the top leg, bring it back down, place both legs down. So squeeze and lift. Lift the top leg, lower the top leg, both legs down. And you can either keep your top half down or hover it up, whichever way is more comfy for you. And a hand in front for balance, or again, just up on your leg. And breathing out to lift. In to lift the top leg, out to close the top leg, in to place yourself down. Two more. Lift, lift, lower and lower, and lift and lift and lower and lower. And then final exercise here. So lift the top leg to hip height and then squeeze the underneath leg up, thinking from the inner thigh. Breathing out to squeeze it up, breathing into lower, keeping that top leg reaching away, hovering in space, shoulders relaxed underneath waist, drawing away from the mat. Think squeezing of the inner thighs. That's it, Sandra. So we're trying to keep the leg as straight as possible. Yes, good. Lovely. Lovely and stable, Barbara. Two more. Final time. And then before we do the other side, get rid of the head blocks, turn over onto your backs. We will do some bridging. So nothing behind your head, feet flat on the floor, thinking, breathing out, narrowing in at the hips, squeezing up with the bum to come in that lovely long line that we know and love so well. And then karate chop to come back. So breathing out, lift, and again breathing out to come down. If you're finding you're cramping at all, bring your feet in towards your bottom. Just a couple more basic ones. And down. One more basic one. And down. Lovely. Then this time, squeeze and lift to come up. I'd like you to put all the extra effort in the squeeze of the right bottom, then unpeel your left leg. Hold it there. And again, just drop the knee out to the side. Squeeze the inner thigh to bring it back to the center. And we'll have 5 on this side. So you're having to squeeze really hard to make sure that your bottom doesn't drop, your back doesn't sink. Nice and slow and controlled, she says, just watching from a position of comfort. Then put that leg down, squeeze the bum and lift the other leg, or come down and then come up into your bridge, whichever you feel more confident in doing. That's it. So the challenge is keeping the hips stable on one line. Good. No grouping and dropping. And then bums down. We will do one final challenge. So squeeze and lift, come into that plank. Heel one leg up to the ceiling again, keeping the bottom squeezed. And then we will do a little bicycle. So lower the leg to the floor, getting a lovely hip flexor stretch, unpeel it. So all the time, trying to keep the bottom on the same level, no dropping and drooping, having to work that standing leg really hard. One more little prancy bicycle, then put that foot down, squeeze that bottom and unpeel the other leg, ready to go the other side. And again, think about reaching and lengthening the leg away to get that lovely hip flexor stretch as much as the bum squeezing. And final two. Final one. Foot down, bottom down. Lovely. Then roll over and work on your other side. Starting with our lovely chest opener. And I'm going to stick on the same side as I've got my microphone. So imagine you're sitting in that chair, knees bent up, shins in line with the front of the mat, arms out. Just give that top hip a little bit of a wiggle away and then bring your arm to the ceiling to breathe in. Breathing out, watch it go, keeping the knees glued together. So the knees stay down, Sandra. That's it. So it's the top half rotating and then bring the arm back, using the abs back to that diving position. That's lovely. That's it. So it's hip over hip, knee over knee. Good, nice and slow. Use your breath, enjoy it. It's a little bit of a stretch out, even though it's still working stuff. Make this your final one. Finishing off with hands out in front and then bending at the elbows so your hands are in front of your face, sliding your feet behind so you're in line with your bum, ready for the shell. Breathing out, lifting the elbow, lifting the knee, keeping the hands and feet together and breathing into close. Trying to minimize any rocking of the body. And it might feel different, might feel easier, might feel harder on this side to the other one. Take time to notice. If you don't notice what your body's doing, you can't change it if it needs it. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. That's it. Good. Two more. Final time. And then hover the arm at shoulder height, hover the leg at hip height, and then open and close. Again, if it's anything like me, you'll be more restricted in this position. And it's a good way of feeling how it's sort of meant to feel when your feet are together. Some of us are much more flexible in the hip, and even so, you need to be able to control that to avoid overstretching the muscles and the tendons and everything. So it's learning that point to control. Two more. That's it. And then closing down, stretching away for double leg lift. So underneath arm long, pad between your arm and your head, stretching away, legs slightly in front of you, breathing out to lift and hover, looking at the mat and breathing in to return. So keeping those, that's it. You have top arm along your body or in front of you. That's right. And just make sure your legs are slightly further forward, Sandra. I think it might be the camera angle, but it looks like you're pulling backwards. That's good. So real breath to help lift and control the return to the mat. Lovely. Keeping the abs drawing in, keeping the underneath waist drawing up, shoulders relaxed. You're nearly there. One more of these. And then breathing out to lift the legs, lift the top leg, lower the top leg, bottom leg down. So lift both legs, top leg up, top leg down, both legs down. Lift, lower and lower. Still thinking lovely length, stretching away. That's it. Two more. Reach and lift, lift. Lower, lower. Final time. Then lifting your top leg to hip height, squeezing the inner thigh of the underneath leg and lowering back to the mat. Stretching away with that top leg and thinking, focusing on the inner thigh of that bottom leg, squeezing up, getting the adductors working hard. That's it. You're all looking really lovely and stable. Relax the shoulders. Last two, squeeze up that underneath leg. And then after your last one, just roll over onto your back. We will stretch out the hips with the lovely hip rolls. So feet either side of the mat, hands behind your head, and then drop one knee to the floor, second knee to the first ankle and look away. And then give it a little bit more of a stretch, that second leg. So really opening the hip flexor. Breathing out, tummy button to spine to bring the knees back to the start point in the ceiling and then over to the other side. Turning away from those knees. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Breathing out, drawing them back to the center. One more on each side. So really have the legs wide to find that stretch. That's it. Back to center. Final time. One knee, then the other. Looking away from the knees. Beautiful stretch, fantastic. Breathing out, coming back up. And then just bend one knee. So you're in tabletop, drop the other knee slightly out to the side. And let's do 8 little circles. So nothing hefty, using it as a release again through the hip. Thinking wide shoulders, little circles. And when you've done 8 one way, reverse the direction. Stirring paint through that hip joint. Lovely, nice and smooth and relaxed. And then when you've done, switch to the other side. Again, just tiny little circles. Nearly there. And then coming up to sitting. Starting with nice long legs. We'll just bend one knee up towards your chest. Then place the sole of your foot on the inner side of the other leg, allowing the other knee to, I would say, aim for the floor, but as you can see, mine will not go anywhere near it. And then from there, think leading from the heart, stretching forward, aiming as much towards your foot as possible, but if you can get to your shin, marvelous. And just breathe in this position and allow the knee that's bent to fall out to the side. And just breathe, breathe, breathe. A nice stretch. Then draw yourself back up to sitting. Sole of the foot to the floor. You can cross it over the leg. Grab it with the opposite arm and then get your lovely cross-body stretch again. So you're hugging the knee into the body, but turning away from it. Couple more breaths here. And then unpeel and change sides. So draw the other knee up towards your chest first. Then rotate at the hip, placing the sole of your foot on the thigh. And then leading from the heart, reaching forward. And again, you might feel one side feels much easier to reach towards your foot than the other. And just breathe. Again, notice where your breath is falling. Direct it deep into the back and sides of your ribs. And then sitting up again. Unpeel your leg, cross it over. Opposite hand or arm to knee. Draws that knee into the body. Rotating round. Couple more breaths. And then unpeel, and we'll finish with a little side bend. So sit if you want, cross-legged, however's comfy. Hands behind your head. And we'll just do two little side bends, imagining bending between two panes of glass so you're not coming forward or back. Breathing out to center. And same side, breathing out. And breathing in, oh, I don't know, just breathe. I've lost the plot completely. And then over to the other side. And again, notice if it's easier to bend one way than the other. Final time. Oh, and you're done. Well done. I'm mightily, mightily impressed you showed up tonight.